This is the Royals POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Kansas City Royals. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are tuned in to the Locked On Royals POSTCAST, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Chance Liebau, and I'm here to bring you reaction to every single Royals game the rest of the way. You can follow me on Twitter at Chance Liebau. That is at ChanceLiebau. If you can't make a show live, don't worry. These episodes will be uploaded for you to listen to on demand wherever you get your podcast. That's Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and we are on Odyssey. And then it'll also be available on the YouTube page as well. Before we get started, remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on our notifications so that you get an alert whenever we go live. Thanks so much for joining the show. Feel free to join the live chat and let me know your thoughts on the game. We usually try and stay away from the comments, but I'm sure they're going to be pretty spicy this evening. I know there's already some people in the comments that are upset. It is definitely not what they wanted to see. That sucked. This team is so frustrating to watch. I would agree. This is one of the worst stretches of Royals baseball from a pseudo-competitive team that we've seen since that August stretch in 2017 when they made a push and then they just pooped the bed. I mean, it was horrible. But before we get really too deep into the nitty-gritty, as we always do, here's what we're going to be talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
I think the offense is going to continue to be the focal point of this "What You'll Be Talking About" segment. I have my notes here, and I got to cover up a couple words because there's a couple of expletives in there because this is a really, really bad Royals offense. The last time that the Royals scored 5 or more in a game at home and won was May 8th against the White Sox. Before that, it was in April against the Rockies, and the only other time it happened was against the Baltimore Orioles. Those are the 3 worst teams in baseball. Baltimore's been better recently. Those are 3 of the 5 worst teams in baseball, 3 of the worst pitching staffs in baseball. And those are the only teams this year that the Royals have had any inkling against offensively. Tonight was far and away the most frustrating offensive performance because it was not like they were overmatched. The approaches were atrocious. Lots of early swinging, under everything. I was listening to my coworker Shane Dennis. He's doing his show on Monday, and he talked about the game on Sunday that I was unable to watch. I was busy doing other things. But Sunday I wasn't able to watch the game. And he said that there were 10 outs made in the air on the infield. And I was like, that is a ton. I didn't go back and track all of them from the Royals tonight. But boy, there were a lot of pop-ups this evening. There was a lot of weak contact, whether in the air or on the ground. Royals didn't get very many balls out of the infield. And that is an issue for a team that continues to just churn guys in and out. I mean, the excuses are starting to run out at this point. I mean, Bobby Witt Jr. cannot hit at home. A stark difference from where he was at last season. If you remember, there was like Yankee fan conspiracy theories about how well Bobby Witt Jr. was hitting at home compared to on the road. This year, he cannot hit a lick at home. Vinny Pasquantino is in a serious slump right now. Salvador Perez continues to barely be able to hit his own body weight, or at least his reported weight. He's a lot heavier than 230. Jack Caglione continues to be unlucky. I think that he's fine. I'm not going to overreact to a couple of games, but this offense is not good, and it hasn't been all season. I start to think that last year was more of a lightning in a bottle. I mean, you got the best shortstop season since A-Rod from Bobby Witt Jr. Vinny carries his weight post-April. Salvi turns back the clock, and then you get just enough from other guys and an elite pitching staff that stays healthy, and then you start to think that things could go really well for you in the long run. And they just haven't developed anything. They haven't developed bats. The stark difference, and Jack and I were texting about it today, Jack, who hosts the regular Locked On Royals show. The Rays, their hitting development is eons better than where the Royals are at right now. Junior Caminero is like a year and a half younger than Jack Caglione, and he's got about 80 games more of experience under his belt than Jack Caglione. The Rays' hitting development is on another stratosphere. And at some point, and I don't think that the answer is firing Alex Zumwalt in the middle of the season. It's not that I'm saying I don't think he deserves to be fired. I'm not going to call for anybody's job, but he has not done a very good job of developing this hitting, these bats. And so my worry is if you fire him in the middle of the season, which a lot of people are calling for, and I think that's the next move if they decide to make one, is that you're going to hire an interim that is probably promoted from within, that has the same philosophy, same strategy, cookie cutter. He was under Alex Zumwalt for the longest time. And if things turn around like you want them to be, then he's going to get hired as the full-time hitting coach next season, more than likely. So you're just going to keep the same process over and over again. I would much rather wait until the end of the season, which I know it's going to be really difficult to do so. It's going to require a lot of patience from the ownership, from the general manager, from fans, from players. It's going to take patience because I'd like there to be an actual search for a legitimate hitting coach and a hitting philosophy, overhaul within the system, because they go 9 up, 9 down again. Their worst first 5 offense in Major League Baseball, worst first 5 offense at home in Major League Baseball. They are pulling the ball far too much for a team that hits a ton of ground balls, a ton of ground balls to short, a ton of ground balls to second. That's all they hit right now. They are not using the middle of the field. They aren't going the other way. And when they do, it is so flipping obvious that they're trying to go the other way that they pop it up and they miss it. They can't hit fastballs. Third worst team in Major League Baseball against the fastball. The only other 2 teams are the White Sox, who are atrocious and aren't even trying, have a lot of young hitters, and the Pirates, who fired their hitting coach earlier this season. So you cannot do the simplest things that it is required to do on a baseball field, and you're trying to compete. The outfield as a whole needs a massive overhaul. I tweeted out, if Jack Caglione is the only current outfielder that's on the team right now that is on the roster in August, I would be perfectly fine with that. I'm fine with losing Isbell. I don't give a rat's behind about his defense. It is entirely overrated. I'm having trouble not cursing. I don't care at all about his defense. His bat is atrocious. I don't care they hit him 9th. He is an out. He is a guy that Bobby Witt Jr. could drive in. John Rave is lost out there. He's got no clue what he's doing. Drew Waters has never been a major league caliber bat. He was up there out of necessity this season. And you all know my thoughts on Mark Canha as a Major League Baseball player in the year of our Lord 2025. This team sucks offensively. In the outfield, it continues to just be a rotating glass door of yin and yang. People are saying, don't bring up MJ. He sucks. He is almost equal to the alternative option, which is keeping up any of these guys that have already proven over the last 2 months that they suck. These guys are terrible. I mean, not good major league bats whatsoever. John Rave has looked lost the entire time he's been up in the big leagues. He is a career quadruple A player, and I don't think that he will ever become a major league caliber bat. Drew Waters is the same way. Hell, I mean, Kyle Isbell's the same. We know we're going to get out of Isbell. He's not going to get moved on from. This front office has a soft spot for Kyle Isbell on his glove first. There's nothing left for this team to do internally because, like I said, the next option is Melendez. That's it. They've got nothing. We are coming up on the end of June. They have got to make a trade or something because this is getting out of hand. And Caglione was never going to be the answer. He's not the answer. And I continue to think that this team is going to push themselves out of a playoff spot. Now, they could very well pull a Detroit and send Lugo somewhere else, get a good return for him, and accidentally turn around in the second half of the season and compete. Not holding my breath, because the one thing or the couple of things that the Tigers had last year that the Royals didn't is dudes in that locker room. Riley Green, former top prospect. Spencer Torkelson, #1 overall pick. Javier Baez, World Series champion. They got a bunch of dudes in that locker room. The Royals have a bunch of front runners, and it is frustrating to watch on a night in and night out basis over and over again. It is the same story. You could go out, take the dog for a walk. You go out, get the groceries for the first 5 innings. You won't miss a single rep of Royals baseball that you will regret. And that's the unfortunate part about this year's team is they have no fire, no desire, and the team lacks any kind of punch whatsoever at the plate. Michael Wacha took the hill tonight. It wasn't just the offense. The Royals were, obviously dug themselves in a 3-0 hole, but there was much more to talk about than just the offensive ineptitude and beating that dead horse like we have repeatedly on this show. I'll get into Michael Wacha's outing when we come back on the Royals Postcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Ever wish managing your money felt easier? With Monarch Money, it can. Whether you're growing a savings or planning a big purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building wealth. Having an all-in-one app to track finances, income, and spending has made things so easy to budget every month. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. And guys, you've probably heard of Viagra or Cialis, or maybe you even tried them. But if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rugiet Ready. Rugiet Ready is a next-gen prescription treatment designed to amplify arousal in the brain and boost blood flow. Unlike the usual pills that can take hours, Rugiet's 3-in-1 formula dissolves under your tongue and kicks in fast, on average in 15 minutes. Effects can last up to 36 hours, so you can stay confident and in control when the moment is right. You can even read real customer reviews on their site, and it's helping a lot of people feel more confident and present in the moment. Head to Rugiet.com/LockedOnMLB and use code LockedOnMLB for 15% off today. That's RUGIET.com/LockedOnMLB and use promo code LockedOnMLB for 15% off. Individual results may vary with prescription treatment. Compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. Please visit the Rugiet website for full safety information. Michael Wacha took the hill tonight, and before you could even really sit down with your dinner meal, Michael Wacha had the Royals in a 3-0 hole. And I don't really think it was his fault. He kind of picked a little bit around some batters. The Rays had a really good game plan coming in. Michael Garcia is a solid defender at third. He was the DH today. I know that's a question that somebody asked in the comments earlier. Listen, if I didn't have a 9-minute rant in the opening segment, I'd probably get to that question and a lot more questions in the comments section. So I do apologize for that. Sometimes I get a little bit long-winded here in a 15 to 20-minute show. But they had a really good game plan. They get a couple of infield hits. They bunt a runner in because you've got Nick Lofton playing third base, who is a second baseman / corner outfielder. The Rays had a really good game plan. And Michael Wacha was fine, usually getting a quality start out of your starter. I mean, he went 6 innings, allowed 9 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts. I mean, the Royals as a whole this season are giving up a lot more base runners than they usually do. It's something that they are, I think, trying. I don't know if I'd say they're trying to go for strikeouts more, but they're getting more strikeouts, giving up more hits. And I think that's kind of a give and go. That's a catch-22 that you have to, kind of deal with at times. But I was fine with how Michael Wacha performed today. I continue to think he's one of the top 3 starters on this team. I like Wacha. I do. And I think that he's doing okay. Given the results that this offense does, you're asking so much of him to be you're asking him to give up no earned runs over 7 innings and let the bullpen go to work. And at that point, the opponent's bullpen is playing lefty-righty matchups with the Royals, who have terrible lefty-righty splits. So I don't think Wacha was an issue tonight. A 3-0 hole should not be that hard to dig out of. Obviously playing from behind isn't what the Royals wanted to be tonight. But I didn't feel like Drew Rasmussen had great stuff either. I would have much rather had Michael Wacha's stuff than Rasmussen's stuff tonight. The difference is Michael Wacha was facing the Rays and Drew Rasmussen was facing the Royals tonight. That's the end of story. And I know it's frustrating. I am very frustrated. 9 straight losses at home. I mean, this is getting very out of hand for this team. And I'm not sure who the culprit is, who deserves the finger pointing, but something has to change. And I texted Jack and my other coworker about this. The nightmare scenario is they take 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers this weekend, and they think things are just fine. That's the nightmare scenario, is that they take 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, and they think everything is okay, and then no changes get made. They roll it out there once again for a really tough road trip. So I'm very concerned about this offense. I don't know what the next change is. I know people don't love my, MJ Melendez take that I think this roster is better with him than without him, especially when Mark Canha is his replacement. But what else would you rather have? I mean, at this point, who in the minor – Tyler Gentry is not the answer here. Nobody in Omaha is the answer at all. I mean, we thought Jack Caglione was the answer, and we knew very quickly that that was not going to be the case. Now, it's a good thing to see Nick Kurtz perform at a good level for the A's after a couple of weeks of struggling. He's had a really good last week or so. So I think that's on the horizon for a guy like Jack Caglione, who continues to get really unlucky. I mean, he had a really bad strike 3 call earlier today, hard hit out to end it. Got to start hitting the ball in the air more. This Royals team as a whole, I think that it's either ground out or pop up right now, and that's frustrating. And law of averages says at some point it is going to change. So I think they're going to make a change at some point here in the next 2 weeks. They cannot go into the All-Star break without making a change. I'm going to stand on that. I don't know what the change is that they make, but this is getting out of hand where I don't even know what the simple answer is at this point. I don't think there is a simple answer. I don't think there is an answer on the team or anything. They just have to perform better. And right now they're not doing that, and they continue to dig themselves deeper and deeper out of the AL wildcard race. All right, tomorrow, I know some of you might be working in the afternoon, but we'll have an afternoon show after the 1 o'clock first pitch Royals game. We'll have another postcast tomorrow. It will be me. I know that last week when they had a day game, it was Jack. It will be me. I'm back in this saddle for the time being and for the long run. So you can look forward to seeing me or hearing from me if you're listening on our podcast on demand. But that will do it for me today. Be sure to tune back in tomorrow. If you're new here, hit subscribe, like the video, and be sure to turn on the bell notification icon so you get a notification on your phone, tablet, Apple Watch, so you get notified whenever we go live or when Jack posts a regularly scheduled Locked On Royals podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. We will see you guys tomorrow around 3:30 here on the Royals Postcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.